Welcome back to episode 13 of the BloodPack, you beautiful people. I think we're going to use Oppa as our template for the Vulture. So what we've done is we took Bionically Talented and we took it off Gordoff. So Gordoff is no longer bionically talented, but Oppa is. And we also took out Impatient Chef as well. So now as our template, we've got Bionically Talented, Teetotaler, Gifted, Kind, Bloodlust and Sanguine. And then across the stats, Oppa's pretty well rounded. So 15 in construction, 13 in mining, 5 in cooking, 6 in plants, 5 in animals, crafting and artistic. Medical and social isn't great. These won't matter too much because we'll be using the Krogans for those. And then 8 in intellectual. We can increase these stats with skill trainers. So yeah, we're going to have a pretty awesome Vulture once this is done. So going to be able to use Bionics if needed and pretty much going to be able to do every job there is. And as we're using the worker template, does mean that they'll get a double burning passion in plants. We did look at Ajik, who is also a other very good candidate because they have a double burning passion in crafting, 20 in plants and a burning passion in shooting. But we think we'll go with Opera at the moment. Alternatively, we can always use Ajik as well, not a mass one. Also, part of the reason why we want to use Opera is because it isn't one of our viewer recommended Vulture, so they die once we remove the first cortical stack. And obviously I don't be killing off like Crank or Belakar, Patrick or Gnu or any of those because they're your Vultures. So as time goes on, what we will be able to do is take those cortical stacks, change them across and then make say like a Patrick Mark II, Gnu Mark II and those sort of things. As for Bionics, Oppa doesn't have too much in, so we only need to remove the 2 Bionic arms and a Bionic spine. With those removed, we're not going to lose any Bionic parts, so then once these new sleeves come in, which are over here, which are nearly at 20%, it's going to be a nice quick change across. Starting a bunch of construction on the factory now, so we are going to end up with 4 steel extractors, which is going to supply us with a decent amount of steel. It's not going to be a massive amount, just done the math hammer on it, and I think it is only 120, yeah. So it's 120 steel a day, which isn't crazy, not a massive amount, but that will see us through in a pinch. So every 20 days it's like 2,000, 4,000? No, yeah, so it's like 2,400 every 20 days, which is a decent enough amount. And then over here, we do have the Vulture coming in. Don't quote me on that math hammer, I feel I got that completely wrong. So, Vulture here, they are in the siege, but we're just going to come in and shoot them down. And we have a bunch of Frumbo on the map somewhere. There we go, Frumbo around here. Okay, looks like they're actually leaving, which is a bit of a shame. But yeah, we're going to go take those Frumbo out and hopefully turn them into some jackets. I think it is time to start working on some jackets. Maybe. Frumbo jackets are good, they sell for a lot. Well, let's just try to aggro these Vulture onto us, or we can just take a couple of them out and just keep moving. That is not an issue. Okay, looks like they're going to start aggroing, they're pulling through. You guys come across here, take the top, and then to there. And yeah, Vulture don't have a massive amount of armour, so they're fairly easy to take down. Only problem with the Vulture is you knock them down, they pretty much never stay down, they'll just get back up. And they seem to want to come through this way. They are not going to get very far. We'll be able to take the main group out. By the time this main group's out, then the rest of them will flee, so we don't need to worry. We also have the Turian militants have come in. They were giving us a hand for some reason. But, yeah, the Vulture go that way, they're dead, which is fine. So they're caught between us and the Turians, which isn't a good place for anyone to be. And I think with one final push, the Vulture should break. This is going to give us a whole bunch of leather, which is always good. Their equipment doesn't sell for much. But the only other side is Vulture actually have a pretty good stomach for a fight, so they do not run away lightly. They normally stay... Oh yeah, I reckon we probably wiped out about 3/4 of them, 2/3, 3/4 before they ran. Whereas like everyone else runs like way earlier. Which makes the Vulture a little bit more fun. I reckon this is done along here. This is a new event added by the Rimeffect, is you get Pyjaks join, and now Pyjaks are super annoying. A social monkey-like creature with extreme adaptability. These small clever creatures considered in most places to be an invasive nuisance, outcompeting native life. Their curiosity often makes them an annoyance to colonists, as they will often steal various technological parts because they find them interesting. So yeah, when these things nuzzle your colonists get annoyed, so they get a mood debuff from it, and they also pick things up and then hide them around the map. So we are going to go in and basically slaughter them straight away before they can actually properly join the colony, because they are going to be annoying, and we have enough that we are working on at the moment without things going missing. As for what we're working on, this has come along quite well. I forgot that when the base burnt down we lost all of the mechanoid components, so we are struggling a little bit on that side. We are ahead on the smelting, which is working really well. So having these set and our guys been able to like craft quicker, we're just burning through all of the kit super quickly, which is good. And then over here, it turns out these drop 10, not 15, which I thought they did. But still, they are going to be really useful. So they produce it every 12 hours, and then these, I think it's like every 8. So we've got a continuous supply of granite, and then when those things back up here, which they normally do, our guys just run out, get the chunks, and then break them down. So we've got a fairly steady supply of granite. Not a massive one, but it does mean that the walls are coming along somewhat quickly for us, which is fantastic. And then we're also building the walls along here, and then we're going to line the inside of the base with those granite reinforced walls, because I think it is safe to say that the computer is going to continuously try tunneling through here if there isn't walls backing up. As for what's happening at the kill zone, I still like the idea that we just carry on using it, and then it's opening up bit by bit by bit. And then once it starts collapsing more often than not when walls get shot down, I think then we will develop our kill zone properly. We still want to put those turrets in down here to stop any retreats, but with the research that we're doing at the moment, which has all turned off for some reason, not an issue. We'll get it started when we can. Before I forget, we also have 2 more incubators made. So let's add the worker templates, and then we are going to start producing a couple more Vulture clones. So now we're just shy of 40% on those 2. So we're going to have the first 2 and then the second batch. So first ones should be done in this episode, and then the next lot will either be done at the end of this episode or going into next. So we're going to have a whole team of oppers running around. And oppers pretty decent, and with the extra 50% movement and manipulation, their crafting is going to be insane. And these beds soon we're going to change out for double beds, because the clones have a habit of falling in love with other clones. I don't know. I'm not going to ask too many questions. Maybe it's would it be a paunch one at that point? Butarian siege coming in, which should be decent fun. Actually, that is a big old siege right there. Wasn't quite expecting that many. So let's go man some mortars and cause them some issues. So we put all the Krogans onto the mortars, and let's just hammer them from a distance. Tell you what might be a better idea. Let's put Crank onto one of the mortars, because he has all the bionic parts. So he's going to be able to go and get those shells super quickly. Fortac, I'm going to take you off there, mate, because you are good at what you're doing anyway. And Crank comes in instead. Now, where that trade caravan got wiped out a couple episodes ago, we do have a crazy amount of artillery shells. There we go, 106 incendiary shells, which I think are going to be put to good use against all of these. Oh, we just came in and slotted their shells. Amazing. Wait, what? 217 survival meals. That is a crazy amount of food. Anyone to your defensive positions other than Crank, you're with me, mate. And how about a little bit of covert ops? So we're going to run Crank round. Crank's going to deal with the fire so that these don't get destroyed, because we want them. These guys are obviously going to run into their deaths, and there's a lot of obviously there, and seems like another raid might be coming in. No, just a mission. Research opportunity. We're struggling with research as it is, so I don't think we're in a situation to offer our research capabilities to somebody else, because we need all the researchers we can get right now. Yeah, Crank should be there in absolutely no time. The package surviving wheels are now just on fire, but that shouldn't be a problem. These guys are coming through. They don't stand too much of a chance. And because we are nice, wait until they're a little bit more bunched up. Once a couple more decide they want to hold here, we'll put a fire in. That's going to cause some trouble for all of them. Crank still needs you down here, buddy. I'll put you there. We might not make it. We might not make that. I didn't realise I didn't send him to run all the way around, which I guess makes sense because we don't want him aggroing this way. Grugon, how do you feel about another incinerate just there for me? Stop these guys grouping up there. Kind of missing that grenade launcher right about now. 9. Come on. All I need you to do is get there. And now, how many can you pick up? You can only pick up 43. Let's get 43 picked up now. And then fight fire. So we can get that out in time. No, they burnt. Shame. Shame, shame, shame. What about these? There's 12. Let's try to save those components. At least we can get something out of it. So you go there. Materians are fleeing. Let's just run them down because we can. And Crank, you going to be able to save those? Maybe. He might just get away with that one. But yeah, there's a shame about those. They would have been super good for us. And that looks like a trooper helmet. So, how do you feel about stripping this guy? We're going to be able to sell that. Not for a massive amount. Marine helmet, yeah. Still at 97. So I think one of the Vorts will probably try to take that. Not too bad. Put these fires out. Okay, yeah, I was wondering why they ran around the other side. It's because that is all full of fire. Got some decent kit in there, mind you. Not mad about that. Not mad about that at all. And yeah, I don't think any of them are going to make it out. Which is kind of what we want. We don't want anyone surviving because this is maybe a secret base. It's not so secret. People be like, yeah, you know, not a real place. Yeah, it's not a real place. No, it is a real place. We're literally there. I survived the siege. Be like, yeah, you're not going to survive now. You guys are all going to die. And just one guy left there. Sweet. And now let's just get to putting those fires out. Because we want to rescue as much of that stuff as we can. Because we can turn it into good stuff and make money off it. This might actually be a decent little scrap. So we got a whole bunch of lancers. Which is actually a fair amount of them. So we're talking 10 lancers. They are more than capable of getting through our armour. Against 7 centipedes. And it looks like 6 heavy charge pedes and then 1 inferno pede. I thought that was one of our colonists then, but no, it's just a wild man that they absolutely nuked. Yeah, they got very little concern for life. Well, actually quite a lot of concern for life. That's why they go and kill everything that they see. Anyway, humanoid wise. And what? Is that the drill coming in as well? I think that's the drill straight on top of this. Cool, cool, cool. The drill are going to be able to wipe out most of those mechanoids, but the mechanoids are going to do a big number of the drill. The Hanna we really don't need to worry about. If they're already using their shields, that's good for us, because that means we don't need to deal with it later. Lancer's going to go down, but once they come up against the centipedes, they haven't really got anything super heavy hitting. They got a couple like big old sniper rifles. And what do you do for me? If I press gear, that'd probably help more. 16 damage, 2-shot burst, 24% armor penetration. That thing sucks. That is utterly useless, and nothing else that's particularly big either. Maybe that pistol, the charge pistol. 18, 39. Yeah, so the best weapon they've got is a charge pistol. That's not looking good for you guys. And they're pretty well grouped up. They're also spreading out. So yeah, these centipedes are just going to ruin that lot, I reckon. Then these guys are going to come down here. There's a little bit of fire. Might get in trouble there. I doubt it. Right, actually, in the meantime, let's all get to our defensive positions. And then we just basically take whoever wins. And this is going to be a whole bunch of steel as well. So that's what, like 145 times 15. You know, that's going to sort our metal issues out for a long old while. First lot of gel finally getting into the kill zone. But man, these guys, when they don't have armor, they will just go down. So we do need to start planning what to do here because they're grouping up behind these bits. Now, anywhere that they hide, our guys shoot and then it falls through. So their cover just continuously gets less and less and less with each raid, which works. But they're kind of now creating their own little points to hide in. As they hide somewhere, then it goes through. Yeah, absolutely no stomach for a fight. Absolute cowards. Cowards, cowards, cowards. Didn't even take down a single centipede either. How are we looking? Yeah, virtually no damage on any of them. Poor effort, lads. Poor effort. Centipedes are slowly coming in. We've taken one down, so that only leaves like 6 of them. But they're not really doing too well. The only advantage they've got is they're coming in and they're hiding behind this rock here. And now being behind there stops these guys from shooting. So Gnu is not really in a situation to fight. So let's move you there. We'll save that defensive position so you can actually shoot things. Because I know how much Gnu likes to kill stuff. So we'll move him there. This will fall eventually. And then yeah, wherever they hide, it works for a little while. Then it gets shot through. And then another raid comes in and then they find a new spot. But no, I'm kind of liking how this kill zone's like just evolving by itself. I find it quite fun. And Funopede is... It looks like it might have already been taken out. Okay, that's the only thing that really could have been annoying to us. And it looks like it's been done. We'll just keep shooting and Grugon. You're out of range of your overload. That's not a problem. They can't really do much. Their guns suck. We're in really good armour. And then we also have shields. So if they actually hit us, which these guns very rarely do, most of the time the shot's just absorbed anyway. We're fine. After a lot of searching, we have finally found one. So we have the Sonic Infestation Repeller. This is going to stop bugs coming into this area around here, which is going to be super useful. And as was pointed out in the comments, we have the ability to clone things, but we can't stop an infestation. Now we can. With the Sonic Infestation Repeller, all it means is when the bugs try to tunnel up, they can't because the sonic noises repel them. Catch to this is it also means we're going to get attacked by a lot of more bug swarms. So the bugs are actually going to come out of their way to go and attack our base because they can't tunnel into it, which I think is a fair balance. And fighting bugs is, well, once they go into a kill zone, they're very easy to deal with. Once they come into our little sleeve chamber and then start tunneling up and being a bit of a nuisance, yeah, then they are a problem. But in the kill zone, we should be able to deal with them just fine. Coming along slowly on the walls, we now have this area here, which we're opening up because we have in the production tab, we have a fabrication bench. With this fabrication bench, we are going to be able to make advanced components and other useful tech. Not that we really need it at the moment because we're doing fine. And also with advanced bionics researched, we can now start making some more advanced bionics. Funny that is what advanced bionics does. And we also have a bunch of advanced bionic arms and spines, which we have just brought from a bunch of traders. And another Polaris shield belt, which is always useful. And somehow managed to turn a bit of a profit because it turns out butchering everything that's coming to come and attack us. So either we could turn them into chem fuel and then break down their kit, which works really well, just requires a load of crafters, or we chop them up into meat. And it turns out most people will buy the meat of other dead species. Well, I'm not going to ask too many questions. But saying about meat, the sleeve incubator is 67, nearly 68%. So I think we should have them out pretty soon. And then these ones are now on 20%. So we're going along quite well. We are making inroads into the sleeves. Unfortunately, that means Oppa does need to die, but she has the cortical stack. Oh, he has the cortical stack. And then with that, we're going to be able to get it. We're going to be able to duplicate it and then spread it between the vultures that we get. Only thing that happens is for the first 50 days that you have that new sleeve, they say, I'm only a clone. And they get like, I think it's like a 15 or a 20 mood debuff. That really doesn't matter. Our vulture are happy as Larry. Normally, what's up with Crank? Sanguine, healthy, witness death, uncomfortable, ugly environment, disturbed sleep, soaking wet, darkness, drowsy. You know, I think they're actually fair enough. Belikar is our oldest vulture, so it's 15 years old, right? So that messes up his immunity gain speed. Whereas if we look at Joven, who's 7, his immunity gain speed is 275%, so it drops off super quickly. Now, I was saying in the last episode that what we'd need to do is get the longevity research. Now, what I'm interested in is how much, well, how quickly can we change the age on the Vulture? So we go change age, click there. We'll put Joven straight into the old bed. Oh no, I've got Be'lakor, that's cool. So we'll put him into the sleeve casket, he'll go in, and then we will send Grugon over, who's our main person. We won't have a Ajik do it in case it goes wrong. And Grugon's going to come over, and then it will say, ask us to change the age. Okay, cool, so we can go down pretty low. So, the youngest Vulture you can get, prepare carefully, is 3. So I imagine they don't want any younger than that, so we're going to change the age to 3. And now Be'lakor's 3, and his immunity gain speed is 605%. So long as we stay on top of it, we're going to be able to keep the Vulture alive and they won't die of old age. It does cost medicine. Is it a bit of a cheat? Maybe. Am I going to do it? Yes. Because otherwise, these Vulture we get out of here will literally be dead within like a couple years. And yeah, no, that's not a thing. The Vulture seem to be coming along a bit better on that building. They are not failing nearly as much as they were. So we just had 2 fails then. But they've managed to lay quite a lot of floor in the time that those 2 fails happened. So, turns out bionic spines and arms are the way to go. Also, not Trigger, it's Crank. Crank very, very rarely fails, but then he's also got the Cortex Augmenter in him. And a whole bunch of other stuff. So he's got the eyes, the exosuit. He's pretty much the best Vulture you can get without these. And it looks like the first one is ready. So we're going to open this vat, which means that this one should be ready as well. So we got the first 2 Vulture clones. I was hoping for this area to be finished before we started pulling them out, so it looked a little bit better. But right now, this is what we got. So this is what we're going to do. So that's opened by Run by Fire. And let's open this one. You got to be careful though once you open them, because sometimes your pawns don't go and pick them up and put them into the beds. So you end up with like a very, very expensive sleeve just being left there. And then nobody goes and gets it, and then it dies. And you're like, I just waited 20 days in game for that to be built, and now it's dead. So let's hope that doesn't happen. So Run for Fire, you see he just came in and he just ran straight away. So you're going to go rescue that empty sleeve. And Grugon, you're going to go rescue this one. And now what we need to do is we need to get onto Oppa. And unfortunately, we have to kill them. But before we do that, what we need to do is take off both of the arms. And then remove the spine. And then if they die from that, it doesn't matter, because we'll still be able to recover the cortical stack. And then we also need to remove the cortical stack. Actually, before all of that, if I was being smart at all, we'd drop all of the gear off. So you drop that, that's a good bit of kit, drop this, anyway, I'll be right back. So there's one bionic arm, so that's then going to be, hopefully the second one comes off with no issue. Awesome, and now it's going to be the spine. Might die in the operation on the spine though, that can happen. Okay, no, spine's off, and now it's just removing the cortical stack. But before that happens, I nearly made a massive mistake there. We need to pause that operation because we need to find the cortical stacks. Because what has happened here is we have 2 cortical stacks there that have stuff in them. So we've been buying up all of the cortical stacks whenever we found them. They go for 1,000 a pop, but that isn't too bad. And then we got 16 there, so we've got 20 cortical stacks. We need to find Ikea, and you need to wipe this cortical stack for me. Okay, unfortunately the stack got destroyed, and then wipe this stack. Okay, see there? It goes various. Sometimes the game stops. Yeah, so if you carry on doing it, basically it ends up just stacking itself. So we want to wipe that stack, yes. But all of a sudden, he still has that cortical stack. So we're not going to wipe this one, we are just going to destroy it. Okay, it's not letting me destroy that one. No, cool, it is destroyed. And now, there are no other cortical stacks here. Nope. Okay, you don't have the cortical stack on you at all, do you? No. Cool, and now we can go ahead with removal of the cortical stack. Because if we had done it before, they might have picked up the wrong cortical stack and then put it into Oppa. And, well, yeah, that would have gone pretty wrong because, well, we would put the empty cortical stack in to this one, into the new sleeve. But it could have been the wrong one, then we would have lost the sleeve. And, yeah, it is definitely not worth it. And we got a raid coming in. Which one are you? You're just the tribals, medieval tribals. Cool. Hopefully we can get this done in time. It doesn't look like they're going to go attack anytime soon. Our guys are moving around. And I clicked the wrong bit. Come on. We are so close. So close to grading the Vulture army. Okay, Oppa is dead. Cool, there's Oppa's cortical stack. Now we go Okia. And then we go duplicate stack. And we're going to want about 4 of these. Are they coming in? Yep. Okay, A1 to your defensive positions. Okay, you come off. And we need you to duplicate this stack for us. In the classic way of Ikea, everyone else goes off and fights, and then Ikea does what Ikea needs to do. So that's... So now we've got 2 Ikea stacks. No, 2 Oppa stacks, right? And then all we do is we drop this one on the floor again. And then we duplicate. And then we duplicate. So that takes up one of the empty cortical stacks. So now we have 4. Okay, I can't do medical, so you now are going to go to defensive position. Then once this fight is over, we go take these guys off. What are you doing, you weirdos? Be like some really defunctive sappers. Okay, I'll tell you what, that is not cricket. And from what I can see, it looks like they're going to try to drill through this bit. Okay, so they dug through the side and then are now going through the wood. Thankfully, we still have the reinforced granite walls there, so that is going to buy us a whole bunch of time. And we are straight on top of them here. Where's Crank? Okay, Crank's in the front. No, don't shoot that one. Shoot over here. Take one of them in the middle. Yeah! Their fire just messes everyone up. I think it knocked someone down in basically the first hit. Were they a wimp or something? No, they're okay. Move back a little bit. Because we don't want them tunneling into our base along here. This is going to be annoying if they do. Okay, they're fleeing. We'll let them go. Because we need to be up here pronto. Thankfully, these granite walls are super tough. They're like 3 times stronger than a normal granite block. Maybe not. That's 900. Wait, have the walls been updated? No, so granite walls 510. An actual bit of granite is 900. And this is 1530. But they don't do much damage to it. They only do 40 a go. Most of this will burn, that is fine. We're not too worried about that. So we did have a cave in there for some reason. But now we know they're going to go for this area, and then we just reinforce it. Or we just keep going along this way. Yeah, you know they think they're being smart. They'll be like, we tunneled around your defences. Just be like, yeah, but we can move. This is why I very rarely use turrets. Because if you invest into turrets, turrets can't move anywhere. Okay, cool, that's all done. You guys go off and do what you want. And now allow all and finish off, because that is a bunch of meat that we can use right there. And in that time, what we do need to do is get Grug on. I'm not sure why you're over there, buddy. And we got some operations to carry out. So sleeve quality is high, which means minus 15% pain, part efficiency plus 20%, sight plus 10%, blood filtration plus 20, which is good. And then you have worker, which is plus 50% manipulation plus 50% moving, and then adaptable because of Vulture. So already pretty decent stats running. Now, you have so much good stuff. Cortex Augmenter is going in. Advanced Bionic Spine. 2 Advanced Bionic Arms. Exosuit. into cortical stack. And a synthetic heart, why not? And that is going to be such an insane and powerful Vorcha. Is going to be the king. The one that all other Vorcha wished they were. Actually, that's a good point. Let's make sure we got enough medicine for this. 116. I think, if I was being conservative, that might be enough. Interesting. So they were doing the operations on Oppa, but then stopped. So the cortical stack's in, which wasn't meant to go in. But I think they went in the wrong order. So once that cortical stack happened, I think it just updated everything. So we do have the Cortex Augmenter, Exosuit, Advanced Bionic Arm, well, Advanced Bionic Spine. So we don't need to worry about another Exosuit. But what we do need to do now, then, is get the spine in. No, we've got a spine. It's just the extra arm, then. And the synthetic heart. And once those are in, oh, yep, going to be a bit of a beast. Okay, Grugon, you're not going to sleep. You are going to carry on with this. Okay, we had the Black Slayers coming in. Are they the space pirates, aren't they? Pretty small raid, they're all being considered. Yeah, space pirates. Nothing too much there. We should be able to do that pretty quick. And we're also going to have the Super Vorcha that we're going to be able to trial out. If they recover from the anesthetic, that is. Oh, they're going to try and shell the base whilst we're doing this. Yeah, that's not happening. Crank. You're up, buddy. On there. Trigger, you're on here. Fortac, you're on there. And Ikea, you're on this one. And we should be able to shell them to oblivion before they can really do too much. He says. Wishingly. They got their first shell off. Right on our mortars. Good for them. Good for them. That was a good shell. What did we get? Nothing. They're going to hit the roof. Yeah, not a problem. If they hit the mountain, it doesn't go through. Now, where are the rest of my guys? Okay, they are coming down to put the fires out. Amazing. Okay, we just lost 2 more mortars. And there was me thinking that we were going to win. And this hasn't been fixed, has it? No. Okay. Not going super well, has to be said. And what do we do over here? Well, we can take their mortars back off them, so we would have those. They got a triple. Some shields. Yeah, actually, to be fair, not super deadly. We take our kill zone before they can get in. And we just managed that. These guys will go down. And then we'll go up and take these. I mean, what can they do? They can take out the wind power. Right now, wind power's not a big thing because we got our power cells. Burn a couple things down, destroy some robots. You know, all of that stuff we can deal with. That's not a big issue. What are their stats looking like? Yeah, not great. Okayly equipped. Very well armed though. Sometimes. But as for the rest of their stuff, not amazing. These guys will go down quickly. I think we might give Grugon the actual shotgun. Because where he's here, he doesn't really have much of a line of fire. So that would work out better for him. Got a chain gun. That ain't going to save you. And yeah, they're pushing in now. They're going for the donkeys. You guys move along here. We'll leave Grugon and Urgnot in their defensive positions. And that'll be more than enough to hold here. You move in and shoot them in the face if you would kindly. Come across here, save the donkeys. Because we've already... we just lost like 3 of them to a plague. Which obviously isn't great for us. We kind of want those donkeys alive. They're dropping the shield. Let's go in and take that shield from them. We're bigger than they are. We just bully them out. Come here. Start moving there. We've got the shield. They can't shoot us as they run away. Move to this bit. We take here. You guys take that side. And yeah, easy, easy, easy. Bunch of fire going around. Don't mind that at all. And Oppa, you're up. What do you need? You need one more arm put on. Do you mind just waiting here for us, if you would kindly? Just so we can get you ready. Your big reveal is meant to be a big, amazing reveal, not some half-hearted person walking around like still off their treat on anesthetic. That's not the look we want. Also, this might be quite interesting. A neural stimulator, highly advanced brain implant that attempts to enhance the consciousness of the subject, comes with numerous side effects like headaches and loss of language. Some personalities may change. Only recommended for brain damaged colonists. But plus 10% consciousness, plus 15% sight, plus 10% pain. You know, 10% pain might be a slight issue, but the consciousness offset would be awesome. Mind you, that is expensive. That's very expensive. Seeing as we have just managed to scrape together enough, I reckon we get that. That is not going to be a bad bit of kit at all. And let's get the exosuit whilst we're at it. Looking like we're not going to be able to get the advanced bionic arm yet, so let's just give Oppa a normal bionic arm. And which shoulder will that need to go on? That will need to go onto the right shoulder. Awesome. Out of all of the surgeries, I think that's probably the best one for Grugon to fail on. But he still managed to fail, and he managed to fail pretty well. Cuts and scratches, so we're going to get some scars from that, I reckon. Which isn't a good start to our super clone. How have you failed again? But you're fine. Like, there's nothing wrong with you. Why are you failing this? Alright, we're going to have to hold out for a while because we can't really risk Oppa going in and being operated again on and then failing again. Oh, this is cool. Oppa got double burning passion in shooting her melee and plants. That's a little bit of a right, isn't it? Alright, third time's the charm, and this is our last bionic arm for a little while because we're running low on plasteel. Amazing. Done. Finally. Shame that we're missing that bionic arm. We should have had that. I'm not sure where it's gone. We must have put it on someone. But I think going to be a bit of a beast. And that is some wicked stats. The anesthetic has worn off on Oppa, so if we have a little look. Consciousness 105. Moving 209. Manipulation 252. Talking 105. Eating 105. Sight 110. Blood filtration 120. And blood pumping 120. Yeah, this is a serious vulture. Then we put the neuro stimulator in, which would then take that up to 115, which would then add 10% to pretty much everything. Then we can put eyes, ears, synthetic lungs, and yeah, basically just a super broken OP vulture. And if we look at the stats, gains the beautiful trait as well, but also is bionically talented. So once we get to a situation where we can kick out bionic powers, we can have all of the bionic annihilation fields going off at once. So normally I only have like one colonist that can do it properly. But this time around, we have the potential to have an unlimited vulture army just kicking all these out. We have one sleeve left to upgrade as well, so we're going to get that done in a second. And for any of you that have named your vultures, if you want them to be upgraded so they have basically Oppa stats, but you want them to keep their own name and still doing the same jobs, just let me know down in the comment section below. But let's have a little look, see at what Oppa can do at the old smithing bench. So yeah, faster than 4 tack, which is good. And if we speed it up, how quick does she go through stuff? really quickly. Yeah, buddy. We're going to be able to process through so much stuff once we have like 4 of them. And also really like Oppa's style. So she spawned in, didn't have any kit. What does they do? Goes and gets the N7 good helmet, N7 armor, and then the N7 designated marksman rifle, which I think is a pretty decent setup. Took just about the best kit, so hats off to you. So this is going to be Oppa Mark II. Going to start with the exosuit. Going to go into the neural stimulator. Synthetic heart, because that's always a good thing to have. Okay, we've got blight going on, so we need to do this quickly. Cortex augmenter. Then into the advanced bionic spine. then into the 2 shoulders. Then once all of that's done, we'll put the cortical stack in. And let's have a little look. It's only on the hay grass, that's not a big issue. We'll just clear this section and then turn off allow sewing. Oh, we've still got a bunch of junk over here. Let's go sort this. 2 new fortresses are on the go. So we're going to continue this cloning. And these ones are up to 75%. And it looks like we are slowly getting there with our little sleever room being set. Yeah, I'm starting to like this. And then we're going to flare the sides out. And then we're going to make a special chamber for when we start on the Krogan. So I think I kind of know how the sleeves work, but not 100%. So I think we carry on playing with the sleeves. And then once we're happy that we know how to make like the best that we can get out of them, that's when we start looking into getting the true proper Krogans. Got a mech hive coming in, so I think this is going to be a good time to have a little showcase of what Oppa can do. Doesn't remember her defensive position, but I imagine it's probably there, so we save, and that's done. Second Oppa clone is nearly done. Only waiting to put the cortical stack in, and then that is going to be up and running as well. This one we are going to make solely for crafting. This Oppa has the old work list of the other one, so it's construction and mining. Which is actually probably really good because of the high consciousness. She is not going to fail. Yeah, Lancers aren't too much of a threat. Ciphers are all getting gunned down as they come in, so that's quite happy. Once they start using cover, might be a bit more of an issue. But yeah, that recovery rate's super quick. I can fire quite quickly as well. Not that it makes a massive difference on the manipulation because this goes down into the weapon cooldown speed, so aiming cooldown. But should be super accurate. Just because of having all the extra manipulation. Now we've got, what, like 1 Inferno Pede and 5 heavy charge blaster Peds. Easy. Easy, bro. You guys are all going to die here. Yeah, I was right. They all did die there. They are just not a threat right now. Surprised we're not getting attacked very often by the vanilla expanded mechanoids because they have a whole bunch of presence on this planet. And we're not dealing with it. And they've even got a troop transport as well. No carrier yet, but still causing us a bit of an issue. Oh, we got a climate adjuster over there. Forgot about that one. Anyway, details, that's all coming along. This clone only needs this cortical stack. We've got the factory going. We've increased the cloning chambers. We've got a bug repeller so they aren't coming down. We're getting the doors in. We will want to get the blast doors so these places are properly defended. We need to expand the amount of hauler bots that we have. Because, yeah, if our guys aren't hauling and they can actually work, we're getting through everything super quickly. But I think with that, that's a good place to wrap up the episode. So thank you very much for watching the BloodPack. I've been Konzi. You know what you need to do for the algorithm. Thank you very much, and I'll catch you on the next one.